I think the overarching finding is that we're missing the mark in connecting with the youth in a relevant and engaging way, and they're telling us that we're missing the mark, but we're not hearing why that is the case. Some of our analysis talks to the polarization between older generations who come from a mindset of scarcity, not having information on hand, not having knowledge accessible to them on a day-to-day basis at their fingertips, but having to go and find it, versus the newer generations, the millennials, for example, who have that information and access to it at all times. And that immediately points to the fact that the only thing that the millennials don't have, that they would love to have, is experience, to be able to make the right decisions in life, to be able to overcome the pressures and anxiety which they are clearly facing and communicating to us that they're facing a difficult time, trying to understand how they're going to be successful, the pressure from the world around them on actually being safe day to day, but also being successful tomorrow, and not knowing where to turn to be able to get experience that will help them make that a more an easier task is a problem, and it's an opportunity at the same time for organizations to help step in and say, we're not just going to take your money or ask you to spend money on our brands, but we're going to teach you about money management, for example, because that's an important application lesson rather than a product sale. I think we all need to revisit the assumptions that we make, and a lot of those assumptions are based on preconceived ideas, perhaps generational bias, where we come from and what our perspective on things are. And it's coming through loud and clear in the voice that the youth have. They have their voices, their currency, and we need to understand that that's a valuable thing for them to be heard. And how can we use that appropriately in a way that benefits them at the same time as it benefits us as marketers? The really cogent thing, I think, that the point that needs to be made is this idea of education. If we're going to provide experience, how we provide it is really, really critical. It's not a linear, top-down, taught-to-you kind of approach, which the youth are really clearly rejecting and pushing back really hard on. It's much more about interactive learning, contextual learning, learning from each other in a horizontal way, not a vertical way. And the schooling system doesn't support that at the moment, and we've had real pushback on that from the people that we've interviewed. Don't teach me more about calculus, teach me how to use the calculus to make the right decisions in life. And if we can get that right, and if we can understand concepts like deep learning and how important they are to the future of the youth being confident in their ability to go into the world and make a difference in the world, then we're going to be winning.